down here in Belden, Mississippi. And the Lions swept Hickory Flat 2 games in a row, 12-2 in game 1 and 14-3 in game 2. And then you had Tupelo Christian in the first round defeated Hulka, swept them 15-0 in game 1, 16-0 in game 2. Tonight, the Lions travel down here. These two teams were in division for a little while until this year, and now they are meeting up in the playoffs. So you don't get a year without playing each other. Jack Decker will be the starting pitcher tonight for the Eagles, as Jack Coker, who is regarded as their ace of the staff, is going to be DHing tonight for the Eagles, and we expect to see him probably game 2 on the mound. Now for the Lions on the mound, you're going to have Jaden Clifton starting, the junior starting for the Lions. Before we get too much into until we get too much into all these lineups and things of that nature, I'd like to tell you about our sponsor tonight, and that is going to be Lake Hill Motors. They're sponsoring every game throughout these playoffs for the Lions, and we thank them for that. So go by and see Lake Hill Motors for all your outdoor marine and marine needs, and they'll take good care of you. And then we're going to pause for a second for this national anthem. So now we're about to get things started as Decker is on the mound for the Eagles, and they're getting ready to get this game started. Umpires are here. Got 3-man crew tonight. Let's go over the Lions lineup as they get warmed up out there in the field. Biggersville being the away team, bat first in the top of the first. So you got Brooks Sigo leading off, followed by Case Hilliard, followed by Carson Price, and Dylan Johnson is the cleanup hitter. In the 5-hole, you got Jaden Clifton, then Braden Hill batting 6th. Brady Davis is your designated hitter tonight, batting 7th. 8th is going to be Logan Davis, and rounding out the order is going to be Brady Baisden. So we got a little different lineup than we had last game, so see how that goes for us. And got a good seat in the house. Hope you can see everything really well where you're at. Not right behind home plate, but off-centered a little bit. It's going to be all right. It's quiet in the ballpark, though. Everybody's really quiet. Maybe we'll get them amped up here in a moment when we get the boys up the bat and get the game going. Is they're not having any warm-up music while they do this. They're about to get this thing started in just a moment. Throw down to second. Here we go. So Brooks Seago will lead all four of the Biggersville Lions here in the top of the first in game one of round two, the 1A state playoffs. Winner advances to the quarterfinals next week to take on the winner of the Vardaman-Wheeler series. Hopefully that'll be your Biggersville Lions. Tupelo Christians wearing the white uniform with the blue pinstripes. Eagles across the front outlined in red. In blue letters outlined in red. Blue hats with red letters, and Biggersville in the charcoal grays and the maroon letters with white outlines. Decker gets the sign. He'll kick and deliver. First pitch. Seago hits that one to center field. Now to be a leadoff single for Brooks Seago to get the thing started. So runner at first, nobody out. Now Case Hilliard comes to the plate for your Lions.
Number 11, Case Hilliard.
Decker will now go to the stretch. Seago with a modest lead over there at first so far. Here's throw over. Seago gets back in safely. Decker still in the stretch. Hilliard hasn't seen a pitch yet. Runner on first, nobody out. Top of the first inning. One pitch, one hit for the Lions. It's going to be a bunt back to the pitcher. He'll throw to first, and that's a good sack bunt right there by Hilliard. So runner at second, one out. And now Carson Price will come to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Got to make sure you get those bunts right down the lines there, preferably third base line or first base line. You can get a slow roller down the first base, halfway down the first base side. You can probably get an infield single out of this. Same thing on the third base side. Wind blowing straight out to center. Decker now he stays in the stretch with Seago at second with a big lead over there. Here's the pitch. Hits the inside corner for strike one. No balls and a strike to Price. They're playing in at first. Playing normal depth for even with the bag over there at third. Decker in the stretch. No balls and a strike to Price. One out. Runner at second. Swing and a miss at one in the dirt. No balls and two strikes on Price. He misjudged that with sitting fastball there and got something off speed. Let's see if Decker goes back to that off speed right there since he had Price off balance a little bit. Time called at the plate by Price as the pitcher took too long. Now he digs back in at the plate. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball one. One ball, two strikes to Price. Decker gets the sign. He comes set. Kicks in, delivers. Foul straight back to stay alive. One ball, two strikes, one out. Runner at second. Top of the first inning. Biggersville at the plate. See if Price can get something right here to handle and put it in play. They look Seago back to second. He is a pest on the base paths. You like to see that if he's on your team. Here's the pitch, high for ball 2. Evens the count up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Decker taking his time there in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Price fouls that one out of play. First base side. Stays alive, making the pitcher work a little bit. Seagull took the first pitch he saw. He hit a line drive base hit to center field. Then you had a sacrifice bunt from Case Hilliard, and now Price is at the plate with runner at second and 1 out. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball up the middle, almost bases. Second baseman made a good play. Infield single for Price, and then Seagull comes around for the score for an RBI single for Carson Price. Biggersville now leads 1-0 here in the top of the first with a runner at first and 1 out. And Dylan Johnson comes to the plate for your Lions.
Number 33, Dylan Johnson.
Price getting a good little lead over there at first. Let's see if they try to throw over. Keep him close. A lot of room on that right field line. If Johnson can get over there, they throw over to first and get him back. Lions strike first here in the top of the first, with leading 1-0 with 1 out, and a runner at first. Dylan Johnson at the plate. Swing and a miss, and Price, they thought he was going to steal. That was a fastball right there. Decker comes set in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Price doing a good job over there keeping Decker's attention. Throw over, not in time. Just trying to keep him close. Here's the pitch. Check swing, fouled off left field side. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first, 1 out. Here at the top of the first. Biggersville leading 1-0 already. Getting on the board early. Throw over to first, not in time. One-two count. Johnson at the plate. Decker comes set. Kicks and delivers. Base hit to left center. So now runners on first and second. And 1 out. And Jaden Clifton's coming to the plate for the Lions. With a runner in scoring position. Jaden Clifton right now currently is tied for the single season home run record at Biggersville with 6 home runs. But we don't need a home run right now. We just need a base hit to score a run. They're not holding the runners. They're not holding runners on. That pitch is high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Coach Donahue at first with a whole bunch of gloves and shin guards and elbow pads, all kind of things over there. That's what you want to see, him covered up in them. Means you're getting on base. Time called at the plate. Clifton doesn't like how long the pitcher is taking. Here's the pitch. Outside ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Biggersville leading 1-0 here in the top of the first. Clifton at the plate. They give him a strike outside corner there. 2 balls and a strike. Good frame job by the catcher. Decker in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Oh, foul tip into the glove. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Clifton. So see if Clifton gets something here he can handle. Here's the pitch. Clifton hits out a mile long, and he has just broke the single season home run record at Biggersville with 7 home runs. The Lions lead 4-0. That's a record. There's the record, folks. There it was. Lions lead 4-0 here in the top of the first. Now Braden Hill gets to come to the plate and try his luck.
Number 26, Braden Hill.
See what Hill can do here. Nobody on, 1 out. Lions lead 4-0. Here's the pitch. Down the middle for strike 1. No balls and a strike to Hill. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Decker back in the windup. He'll kick and deliver. High outside ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Here's a pitch. Foul straight back. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Biggersville leading 4-0. Then put up 4 runs here in the top of the first inning. The start you want when you're on the road, especially when you're playing a team of this caliber. In the dirt. Full count now to Hill. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. So that'll be a walk to Hill. Hill now got a runner at first and 1 out, and Brady Davis now coming to the plate for the Lions.
Number 32, Brady Davis.
Hill is not a threat to steal. Probably with this catcher who's got a pretty good arm behind the plate for the Eagles. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike one. McDaniel is the senior catcher behind the plate. Matthew McDaniel, infielder. Infielder and catchers as he plays all around the, probably I'm going to say he's their primary catcher. Hill with a short lead at first. Here's the pitch. Brady Davis with a ground ball right back to the pitcher. They throw to second for one over the first. Not in time, and that'll be a fielder's choice for Brady Davis. So 2 outs, runner at first, and Logan Davis is going to come to the plate for Biggersville, the 8-hole hitter.
Number 7, Logan Davis.
Here's a pitch. High for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Davis is a threat to steal over at first. Here's the pitch. Inside ball 2. Tupelo Christian fans are not happy with the strike zone right now. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, runner at first. Biggersville leads 4-0 here at top of the first inning. Here's a pitch. Inside corner for strike 1, 2 balls and a strike. See if they turn Davis loose here in just a moment to try to steal a bag. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3, 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Fouled off first base side. Full count now to Logan Davis. Decker steps off. Been about a 20-minute top half of the first inning so far. Lions have put 4 across, lead 4-0 here in the top of the first with a runner at first and 2 outs. Full count to Logan Davis. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High, ball 4. And now runners at first and second, 2 outs. And now 9-hole hitter Brady Baisden comes to the plate for the Lions. And we've got a mound visit for the Eagles. So the umpire stopping the chanting from the dugout. Biggersville come out tonight in the top of the first so far, ready to play, bat swinging. We'll see what the defense can do here in a little while, but the Lions still want to put more runs across. As you see Seago walking across with all kinds of gear because so many guys have gotten on base. That's what you want to see. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsor for tonight, Lake Hill Motors, who has sponsored every game in the playoffs for your Biggersville Lions. We thank Lake Hill Motors for everything that they're doing to make it possible that we can all have playoff baseball right there wherever you're at. So go by there and see them and tell them you appreciate all they are doing to make sure you can see your Biggersville Lions play. Brady Baisden at the plate with runners at first and second, 2 outs. Both is a double steal. That pitch is high, so both runners will steal. So Davis at third. Both Davises are on. So Brady Davis at third, Logan Davis at second. So runners at second and third, 2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes to Baisden. Here's the pitch. High outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. They're going to play in at first and at third on the grass. Here's the pitch. Squares around the bunt. Pitches outside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 4. Bases now loaded, and Brooks Seago comes to the plate, who hit the first pitch he saw in the first pitch of the game to center field for a leadoff single. So now he has bases loaded, 2 outs. Let's see if he can get another hit in this inning as the lines have officially batted around, and Seago is the 10th hitter of this inning. Decker's going to be in the windup. He's taking it too long, and Seago going to call time and step out. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Seago. Don't know how much more patience they're going to have with this pitcher if another runner gets on, because another runner gets on and the lead would increase. The umpire saying you can't say ball 5 or ball 6 to the pitcher. I've never seen that not be allowed, but he's a little touchy out there. Here's the pitch. High, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Brooks Seago, who's 1 for 1 tonight with a single. Here's a pitch. Outside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to Seago. Here's the pitch. Seago with a liner, soft liner to short, and this play is made, and that will end the inning. But the Lions get 4 across and lead 4-0 as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Again, I'd like to thank Lake Hill Motors for being our sponsor for these games, so you can watch every single game of your Biggersville Lions in the playoffs all the way to Pearl, where there'll be audio only if we get there, but we'll talk about that later. That's a long way away. Well, thank Lake Hill Motors, and if you see them or you go by there, just go ahead and tell them thank you, and actually go by there and see them and get you a new side-by-side four-wheeler, anything to play with on the water. They got all kind of accessories, helmets, gloves, anything you need to help you so you can have a better time. Weather's warming up. Nice. It's going to be rainy this weekend, so it'll be a perfect time to go in there and shop and get prepared for the really nice weekends that are coming. So go see Lake Hill Motors for all of those needs. Jaden Clifton is going to be your starting pitcher for the Lions tonight. The junior right-hander, the one who hit a 3-run homer in the last half inning, hasn't pitched in 3 weeks, so we'll see if he's ready to go, how that arm looks and how that arm feels. See if we can get a quick inning out of him, get those bats back up, and try to keep the momentum going here in this baseball game. We'll go around the horn for you. On the mound for the Lions is going to be Jaden Clifton. Behind the plate is going to be Carson Price. At third is Case Hilliard, and playing short is Brooks Sego. Logan Davis is your second baseman, and at first is Braden Hill. In the outfield, playing left, you've got Dylan Johnson. In center is Demery Gunn, and in right is Brady Baisden. So y'all, we'll get going here in just a moment. He got 3 more pitches, and he's going to get let the bats come up for the Eagles. So, like what we saw in the top half of the inning with the Lions swinging the bats well, not coming in intimidated in that aspect. They come in ready to hit. Let's see if they're ready to field. So we're going to need our defense to play well behind Clifton tonight. Here's a throw down. Good throw down. So leading off for the Eagles will be number 44, the catcher, Matthew McDaniel. His head coach, Andrew Harrington, it'll be your third base coach for the Eagles. Clifton, he'll be in the wind-up. Start this game. Here's the pitch. Check swing. No, didn't go around, so ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to McDaniel. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. I don't think coach is he's gonna have a short leash tonight, so pitchers need to come out ready to go. Lions lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. Tupelo Christian's first time at the plate. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Three one count. Here's the pitch. High, ball 4. Leadoff walk for McDaniel. Now brings number 15, Rivers Johnson, to the plate. Freshman. So runner at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch. So ground ball to short. They'll go to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get. That should have been runner interference on that play. That should have been runner interference. So right now we're looking at runner at first, 1 out. And number 7, Nate Corneliuson coming to the plate, the junior for the Eagles. Giving an explanation, but he ran into Davis, and that is that's runner interference. Now they're going to have a conversation about it because you can't run into the fielder. You can't obstruct him by running into him. You have to slide or get out of the way. And since it was close to second, he's supposed to have slid. He didn't. So it should have been runner interference there, and they're going to have a conversation about it. So the runner at first should be out. Just got told that our softball team lost a heartbreaker today as they lost 1-0 at Smithville. So I've got time. I'd like to thank Lake Hill Motors for making this game possible. Y'all go by there and thank them and tell them that you heard it, that you heard all their ads right here on Biggersville Baseball broadcast, and that you thank them for making the playoffs possible. And that, and while you're in there, look around because they're also a Polaris dealer now. They have Honda, Yamaha, and now Polaris. Y'all go see Lake Hill Motors. Cheapest prices in the country. That's not a joke. That's not even hyperbole. They are the cheapest prices on these utility vehicles that you're going to see anywhere in the country, because like last year, a man drove all the way from Texas to buy several four-wheelers because the price was so, and they going to call him out at first for interference, and they get it right. So 2 outs, nobody on. But anyway, he drove all the way from Texas, got 2 outs. Got several four-wheelers. I've got several things going on right here. And because the prices were so good. And so he drove by several dealerships. So y'all go see Lake Hill Motors for the best prices and get in one of those side-by-sides and make your day and make your weekends and a lot more fun. So now Corneliuson comes to the plate for Tupelo Christian with 2 outs and nobody on. So good job by the umpires to get together and discuss it. And I'm going to say there's going to be some fussing back and forth between fans and this ballpark, because there's already some chirping going on here. That pitch is high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Corneliuson. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. 2 balls, no strike. Wind blowing straight away center field. So the wind is blowing out at the ballpark by 11 miles an hour. They call that one a high, apparently. That's 3 balls, no strikes. That was like a good pitch right there by Clifton. He's got to hang in there. 3 balls, no strikes, nobody on, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 4, another walk issued. So I'll run it first, 2 outs. And now Decker, the pitcher tonight, comes to the plate, the 6'5" junior.
Number 21, Jack Decker.
Price is going to have a conversation with Clifton just to make sure they're on the same page and he's okay and he's comfortable with what he's throwing. The relay on message probably from Coach. So runner at first, 2 outs. Jack Decker coming to the plate. Pretty good ball player right here. You got to be careful when you throw him. He does have home run power. I think he's got 4 on the season. Throw over to first. Soft toss. Not in time. Congratulations to Kossuth. They've won and advanced to the 3A quarterfinals next week as they run rule Winona. 50 low outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Throw over to first, not in time. Good job by Hill to come off the bag and get the ball. Little cat and mouse going on right here. Trying to keep the runner close. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike, 2 outs, runner at first here in the bottom of the first. Biggersville leading 4-0. Throw to first, not in time. Pretty decent crowd for a baseball game here tonight on Thursday night. First game of round 2, the 1A state playoffs. Here's the pitch, runner takes off. Pitch is high. Runner steals the base safely. So runner at second, 2 outs, 3 balls and a strike to Decker. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second, handled by Davis. He'll throw to first in time for the out, and that will end the inning. Tupelo Christian gets a couple runners on, but not able to get them home. So after one complete, Biggersville leads 4-0. And a big thank you to Lake Hill Motors for making this game possible. Y'all go by and see them for all your outdoor needs, and they'll take care of you and tell them you heard them right here from Eric on Biggersville Baseball Broadcast. Looks like got a score update. In the 6th inning, Pine Grove is leading Smithville 2-1. That's a good game happening over there at Pine Grove tonight. Got a good game right here in Belden, Mississippi, as the Biggersville Lions lead Tupelo Christian 4-0. And now Case Hilliard comes up to the plate for his second at bat of the night. He had a sacrifice bunt his first plate appearance. A lot of room to bunt down that first baseline if he wanted to. Pitch is hit inside corner for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Decker kicks and delivers. Low in the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hilliard. Had a triple in his last game. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Pop up to first base side. First baseman goes over, looking to make the play. Lost it in the lights, and it's going to fall foul. So the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hilliard as the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second. Two balls, 2 strikes on Hilliard. Here's the pitch. He did it again. Can they see it this time? And he does, and he makes the catch. Both of them hit them off the hands. So one out, nobody on, and Carson Price comes to the plate for the Lions. He walked in his first at bat. Here's the pitch. Check swing low, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes to Price. I don't know why you'd even check down to the first base umpire on that one. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit to right field for Carson Price. So a runner at first, 1 out, and now Dylan Johnson comes to the plate.
Now batting number 33, Dylan Johnson.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. I got my people backwards. Price had an RBI single in his first at bat. Excuse me. So now he's 2 for 2 today with back-to-back singles. See if Price trying to steal second right here. Decker will be in the stretch with runner on first and 1 out. Line's going to try a good throw over, just not in time. Just trying to avoid the double play here so we can get a runner at second. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Johnson. And a dangerous hitter on deck, and that is Jaden Clifton, who had a 3-run homer his last at bat. So Johnson trying to get back on base so he can, or trying to get on base. Ooh, swing and a miss there. 1 ball, 1 strike, a little off speed. Look like it could be a changeup on the outside there. Here in the facilities, they got that football field lit up. We was there last year. Lions had a good game, played well. Throw over, not in time. Had a privilege of calling some games over there for you all, and Lions have won every one of them. We've been over there that I've been fortunate to be a part of. Pitch is outside, and they throw it over to first baseman's head all the way down the right corner. Price will hit second. He's on his way to third as they get the ball back in, so an error on the pitcher will allow Price to get to third. So 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, runner at third for the Lions. So put the ball in play, and you get an RBI. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That was low outside. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. For some reason, Johnson's having trouble seeing that ball out of the hand of the pitcher. See if he can get something here to handle. Playing way back at first, almost at the outfield grass. He hits that all just foul. But he saw it. He saw that off-speed pitch well that time. So count stays even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third, 1 out. Biggersville leads 4-0 here in the top of the second. Looking to add to that lead. Probably going to need some more runs in this ball game. Maybe, hope not, but, you know, you always want to get as many as possible. Johnson with a line drive to center. And the center fielder makes the error, and that's going to allow Price to score. So now Lions lead 5-0. And Jaden Clifton coming to the plate. I don't want to see if they intentionally walk him or they pitch to him. And they're going to look like they're going to pitch to him. Okay. Homer's last at bat. See if we can get a base hit right here. Here's the pitch. Ooh, fooled Clifton there, and he goes around. No balls and a strike. He was on go. He thought that was going to be a fastball. He was about to put that one over the fence, too. Johnson at first. He is a threat to steal anytime he's on base. They throw over to try to keep him close, but he'll take off shortly, no doubt, when they go to the plate. They're going to test that arm of the catcher, McDaniel. He seems like he's got a pretty good one back there. Could be a pretty good challenge. Here's the pitch. He takes off. Clifton hits that one a mile, just foul. No balls, 2 strikes. That was good, though. It's level, like a level swing right there. Clifton's seeing the ball well. He's got good mechanics at the plate. Let's see if he can cash in right here. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first. Biggersville leads 5-0. Throw over to first, not in time. That was closer than it probably wanted it to be. Go ahead and share the game. Let everybody know that we're live here at Tupelo Christian for Game 1 of Round 2 of the 1A State Playoffs. A monster matchup between these two schools who know each other well. Former division foes. Here's the pitch. Low inside for ball 1. Good eye right there by Clifton. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just got a piece of that one. He was teeing off on that. He dipped that shoulder a little bit on that one. He was thinking another one right there. Young man being as hot as a firecracker. He does this in the playoffs. It's like he turns it into a different player, turns it on, and that's what you want. You know, colleges definitely want, that's what they want, a guy who is a gamer in big games. He doesn't shrink. He gets big. He plays well, and that's what Clifton's been doing. A lot of these guys are doing that right now. Playoffs turn around, they play well. Hits a little slow roller to short. They're going to step on second, throw to first. Not in time for an infield, for a fielder's choice, excuse me. So 2 outs, runner at first, and Braden Hill comes to the plate.
Hill.
Making Decker throw a lot of pitches right now. So Clifton been on base. Well, technically you can say on base twice. Well, not on, because one was a home run, and this is a fielder's choice. Now we got a courtesy runner coming in. That's going to be Kobe Hill to replace Jaden Clifton. He's going to come out and get ready to go back on the mound. Well, you're swapping out a lot of speed right there, so that's pretty good. And now you have Hill at the plate, co-offensive player of the year in the Division 1A. We had a lot of guys make all division. We'll talk about that a little bit too. That breaking pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. A lot of guys made all division. And Braden Hill was the standout in that voting. Here's the pitch. Ooh, and that hits him. And that hurt. Right in that bad knee. So runners at first and second, 2 outs. He's got to walk that one off a little bit. Poor Braden been beat up last few weeks. Still hasn't stopped him from playing hard and giving it all he's got. As he walks down to first, they're going to check on him. Tom is here at the game today. He's going to check on him. Tom Moody, our athletic trainer, does a great job with the young men, getting them ready to go. They check on Hill. Might need a courtesy run for him. Yep, they're going to courtesy run for him. This is who they bring in. Kyron Harris is going to be your courtesy runner for the Lions. He's going to courtesy run for Hill. He'll stay in the game defensively. He's just not going to run the bases. With that banged up knee, he probably doesn't need to anyway. He's not limping as bad as he was going down to first. That's a good sign. It just hurts on that when you got an injury and the ball hits that ball hits you, period, it hurts. But especially when you got an injured knee as he's got right now that he injured at Thrasher. And the news of Thrasher not having a football team next year will make our division a lot smaller. There's only 3 teams in the division for next year in Division 1-1A. As Thrasher will not field a football team. Be a first time, I don't know, probably since they had football. Might be the first time since the 70s or 80s.
Davis.
But Brady Davis comes to the plate for the Lions with the runners on first and second and 2 outs. Got a lot of speed on the base pads right now, though. They're not holding anyone on. So they can get good leads. See if he can put one in a gap somewhere. It's good to get a couple more in. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Davis. Tupelo Christian team, a talented baseball team. A lot of people are picking them to either get to the North Half Finals or even go and win state championship, as the North is really strong in 1A baseball. Biggersville leads 5-0, top of the second. 1 ball, no strikes to Davis. They give him the strike on the outside corner there. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Brady Davis with runners on first and second. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Tried to bunt, and he went around, but both runners will advance. It hit the person in the dugout. That should be another base. It should be a run scored. So now they're going to have a meeting about this. Because if it touches anybody in the dugout, you're awarded an extra base. You can't touch the baseball while it's live in play. Now they're having a conversation. Oh, my goodness, we got a meeting of the minds there. Trying to discuss it with Whitaker, but it's true. If ball cannot touch a single person at the dugout if the ball is live in play. Only the players who are in play can do that. I mean, it's pretty simple. They got a chirping coming on from the home side. They're upset. Everything's going to stay where it is. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. A base hit gives you 2 runs. Tupelo Christian coach pointing the finger, mad at Coach Whitaker. Coach Whitaker's right. I mean, he was right about that. you can't coach a player. Nobody can sit over there and touch baseball if it's live in play. I mean, it's just common sense, the common baseball sense. Anyway, here we go. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davis needs to get a hit right here. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild right here with 2 runners on here in the top of the second. And they call time as the music played. Supposed to be a warning to the press box, and it's not going to be one. Davis choked up on the bat. 2-strike approach right here. See if he can poke one through that right side of that infield. They got a big hole over there. Oh, they give him strike 3, and it almost hit him. You got to be kidding me right there. Stevie Wonder could have saw that was not a strike. But anyway, that's strike 3 called. And that'll end the top half of the inning as we go to the bottom half with Biggersville leading 5-0. I'd like to thank our sponsor tonight, Lake Hill Motors, and for making this game possible. Our sponsor throughout the playoffs, they make these games live for you every single time the Lions step on the field here in the playoffs. So we thank Lake Hill Motors, and go by and see them for all your outdoor needs, 4-wheelers, side-by-sides, anything to do on the water. They got you hooked up. They're a Yamaha dealer, Honda dealer, and now officially a Polaris dealer. So go see Lake Hill Motors and tell them thank you for making this game possible. And you heard it right here from Biggersville Baseball Broadcast. Now we're in the bottom of the second inning. Jaden Clifton back on the mound. Biggersville leads 5-0. And go down, number 11, is at the plate for the Eagles. Pitch is low inside for ball 1. Clifton in the windup, kicks and delivers. That one's in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. High inside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. See if Clifton can find the strike zone here. Settle in a little bit. Biggersville leads 5-0 here in the bottom of the second. Leadoff hitter has a 3-ball, no strike count. Set as outside for ball 4. That's a leadoff walk. So now you have runner at first, nobody out, and Coach Whitaker wants to go have a conversation with Clifton to calm him down a little bit. Lions put 4 runs up in the top of the first and got 1 across in the top half of the second. So Lions looking pretty good at the plate so far tonight. We just need to continue to be good in the field and try to get this come in here on the road, and winning on the road is difficult in the playoffs. So coming out here to get one would be a big deal, especially in game one. That way you can set yourself up in your rotation up for the remainder of the weekend. And right now you got Jax Coker, the senior designated hitter tonight, coming to the plate for the Eagles, as they have embraced the Minnesota Twins look with the pinstripes and the TC on their hats. Here's the pitch. Foul tipped into the glove. No balls and a strike. Coker tied with the team lead in 4 home runs for Tupelo Christian this season. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Swing and a miss for strike 2, excuse me. Runner is still second. So runner at second, nobody out, no balls and 2 strikes to Coker. Here's the pitch. The ball gets away from Price and now allow the runner to get to third. So runner at third, nobody out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Coker now. See if coach has him playing in at the corners. Looks like he'll have him playing normal depth. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And you know the MO later in the game, strike zone changes for the home team here in Belden. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Good block up there by Price. Full count now on Coker. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So 1 out runner at third. That's number 2. Dawson Ward comes to the plate for the Eagles.
Number 2, Dawson Ward.
Let's see what Clifton can pitch out with a little bit of a jam right here. Runner at third, 1 out now. Defense needs to be ready to help out in the field. Getting to the meat of the Tupelo Christian order. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. No balls and a strike. No balls and a strike. 1 out. Runner at third here in the bottom of the second. Biggersville leading 5-0. Game 1 of the round 2. Here's the pitch. So I guess that was high. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Ward. I can't hear the umpire if he's saying a high or low or out. Just can't hear him. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Ward. Clifton in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Foul that one off. Got a piece of that one to stay alive there. Clifton in the stretch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Popped him up on the infield. Seago calls for it. Makes the catch for the out. Two outs, runner at third.
Number 28, Logan.
And number 28, Logan Umphris comes to the plate, the junior first baseman for the Eagles. Clifton 1 out away from being out of this jam without any harm. See if he can pitch out of it right now. Got a good hitter at the plate. Got to be careful. Here's the pitch. Is it high for ball 1? 1 ball, no strikes to Umphris. Clifton in the stretch, kicks and delivers. Ooh, a wild pitch, and that's going to allow a run to score. So now the Eagles lead. I mean, with the Lions lead now cut in a little bit. The Lions lead 5-1 now. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 wards. So let's see if Clifton goes back to the wind-up. Looks like he will. Gets the sign. Kicks and delivers. Check this swing. They say it didn't go around. 3 balls, no strikes. And they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk him. So that'll put a runner at first, 2 outs. And now they're going to bring up number 5, the senior outfielder, Brooks Brazee, outfielder for the Eagles. So runner at first, 2 outs. That artificial turf up there, that ball just takes, when it hits, it just goes. It bounces hard, and let's see if we can keep things in front of us. Ooh, that hits him right in the back. And that is runners on first and second now, 2 outs. And that'll bring up number 44, the leadoff man, the catcher, Matthew McDaniel.
Number 44, Matt McDaniel.
See if he can get out of this. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, good block up there by Price to keep everybody where they're at. 1 ball, no strikes. Clifton get out of his jam, bring the bats back up in the third. That would be helpful right there. Clifton in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Outside corner for strike 1. Throw down. They say he didn't come off the bag. He is safe at third. So runners at the corners. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Let's see what Clifton can offer up right here. Throw over or fake throw over. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike to McDaniel. Lions lead 5-1. Tupelo Christian threatening here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. Runner is still second on that ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Three balls and a strike now on McDaniel. I don't know what was wrong with that one. That looked good. He's going to throw it over the heart of the plate right now. Here's the pitch. Inside corner for strike 2. Full count now on McDaniel. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Biggersville leads 5-1, full count on McDaniel. Let's see what Clifton can offer him up right here. High for ball 4. So it has bases loaded, 2 outs.
Number 15, Rivers.
As Rivers Johnson, the freshman, comes to the plate. And it looks like we're probably going to have be a pitching change here probably. Second visit of the inning. As Case Hilliard's going to come in and pitch for the Lions. That'll be it for Jaden Clifton tonight. Good job of Jaden, though. Gave the team a fighting shot right there. Just lost a little bit here in the bottom half of this inning. So Hilliard's going to come in and replace him. And we'll take a moment to tell you about our sponsors, Lake Hill Motors. So y'all go by and see them for all your outdoor needs. They're now a Polaris dealer, so you can get everything you want. Polaris, Honda, Yamaha. Go see Lake Hill Motors for the best prices in the United States. Go see them for all your needs and tell them you heard about them right here on the Biggersville Baseball broadcast. River Johnson at the plate for the Eagles as Case Hilliard has come into the ball game to relieve Clifton with bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. The ball's in a strike. This young man right here didn't have the outing he wanted last week. See if he can get it going right here tonight. Here's the pitch. Low outside, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second. Handled by Davis. Throws the first in time for the out, and that will end the inning. Tupelo Christian loaded them up and threatened, but not able to get anything over. Only 1 across. So after 2 complete, Biggersville leads Tupelo Christian 5-1. And a big thank you to Lake Hill Motors for making this game possible. For sponsoring every game for the Lions here in the playoffs. So you go over there and tell them thank you and buy something. Buy a 4-wheeler, side-by-side, water ski. Go buy something and tell them you heard about them right here on Biggersville Baseball Broadcast. As J.D. Womble comes to the mound, the right-handed sophomore for the Eagles here in the start the top of the third. Logan Davis will lead off for the Lions as 8, 9, and 1-hole hitters are coming to the plate here in the top half of the third inning. We're trying to get the changes right in the field. See if Logan Davis get a rally started here and get some more runs across. Here's the pitch. Low outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. First base side out of play. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Davis. Womble in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Young man got a good fastball. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at the plate. Stay alive there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Logan Davis. Here's the pitch. Inside ball 2, even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch was high right there. Here's the pitch. Popped him up on the infield or shallow right. Second baseman goes over. Not able to make the catch. And Davis will be safe on the error. So now Brady Basin comes to the plate with a runner at first and nobody out.
Now batting number 22, Brady Bassett.
Womble in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Good bunt right back to him. Be a sack bunt for Basin as he moves Davis over to second. So runner at second, one out. And Brooks Seago comes to the plate with an RBI opportunity.
Now batting number 5, Brooks Seago.
See if Brooks Seago can get a hit right here. Playing really far in at first. You bunt that ball over there with Brooks' speed, he can get past it. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a line drive base hit to right field. They're going to send Davis. Oh, they hold him. Should have sent him. So now runners at the corners and one out. And Case Hilliard coming to the plate.
Now batting number 11, Case Hilliard.
Seago is seeing the ball really well tonight.
Let's go ones. Hit that ball hard and level somewhere. Keep it going, Level.
A lot of room down that right field line. If he can poke that ball over the head of that first baseman, might score 2. Here's the pitch. Oh, it's a bunt foul. He's trying to bunt it down that first base line, or at least the second. Force the first baseman to have to come off the bag. Thinks he can outrun the pitcher. And Seago just takes off the second. He's going to be in a rundown. Now they got a play at the plate, and not in time, and he scores, and they say no. They say no. What? Why? That was a rundown. He can go on a rundown. What's he called? He threw the ball down. He can't call time to ball and play.
He was about to pitch the ball. How was that a time?
Called him out of second with him. That's crazy.
So they pull the runners back.
Already in the stretch.
So runners at the corners, one out, no balls on the strike. You got to be kidding me on this junk.
What are you doing?
Low for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Awful. That is terrible.
You can't throw the ball down and say that was time.
Go, Case.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners at the corners. Here's the pitch. Right down that right field line. It's fair. The ball. 1 run scores. Seago on his way home. Here's the relay. Not in time. And the Lions lead 7-1 on a 2 RBI double by Case Hilliard.
Now call time. There you go.
That boy, Case Hilliard get a big two games in a row. He pokes it the opposite way down that right field line. One was a triple, one's a double. So Case Hilliard back on track. Now Carson Price at the plate with 1 out and a runner at second. Lions lead 7-1 here in the top of the third. Just keep adding on. Just keep doing all you can. Here's the pitch. That pitch is wild in the dirt. Hilliard has to stay at second. Good block. Good job by McDaniel that there behind the plate blocking that up. Lions lead 7-1, top of the third.
Go, Carson. Keep it going.
Womble in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. First baseman coming way in, so if you can bunt that ball.
Hit the ball, Carson.
Or get that ball past that first baseman, you're going to run along. You're going to run a little ways. Just got to get it past him. And I don't know how good he is with the glove. He's probably pretty good. They're willing to run him in that hard. I don't know. Hard to hit one right at you, about a 90 off the bat. Squares around the bunt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Game 1, round 2 of the 1A state playoffs. Winner of this series will play the winner of the Vardaman Wheeler series in the quarterfinals. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. He'll throw over to first in time for the out. Hillier will go to third. Pitch over his head. It's going to be error to first baseman, and Hillier will come home and score. The Lions lead 8-1. And now Dylan Johnson comes to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Well, like I say, Womble got a good fastball. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And that will end the inning, but the Lions get 3 more across and lead 8-1 as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. And I'd like to thank Lake Hill Motors for making this game possible. All games in the playoffs here for baseball will be sponsored by Lake Hill Motors, making it possible so you can see it live. We thank them for that. So go by and see them for all your four-wheelers, side-by-sides, any water sports you want to play, any of that stuff you want to do on the weekend. They will have you covered. They have Honda, Yamaha, and they are now a Polaris dealer. So thank you to Lake Hill Motors. Hilliard back on the mound here in the bottom of the third for the Lions. As Nate Corneliuson comes to the plate for the Eagles. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for strike one. Here's a pitch. Low inside, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Corneliuson. Here's the pitch. Called out a ball. 2 balls and a strike. That's a good pitch. That's a hard one to lay off of right there. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short, handled by Seago. Here's a throw. In time for the out. One out, nobody on. And now Jack Decker comes to the plate for the Eagles. The Lions playing decent right now. You got to keep it going. It's got to keep rolling right here. Stay locked in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike one. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hilliard's getting ahead of the hitters with that first pitch strike. Huge pitch. Here's the pitch. Inside corner. Look at inside corner there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Decker. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Oh, a crazy hop. Clifton throws over the head of Hill, but the runner had to stay at first. That'd be an error on Clifton over at third. So runner at first, 1 out. Carson Price saved an extra base right there, getting down there quickly to get that ball. Catcher's supposed to back up first, and he did a good job of doing that. So runner at first, 1 out. And Bryce Godown is coming to the plate. Foul that and off right field side out of play. Over toward the football field. No balls and a strike. Pitch is low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Double play depth being played right now by the Lions middle infield. Here's the pitch. Outside they say ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Hilliard kicks and delivers. Oh, and that hits him. So they got runners at first and second and 1 out as Jax Coker comes to the plate.
Number 24.
Price is going to have a talk with Hilliard for a second. Kind of calm him down, relay the messages that coach wants him to know. Lions lead 8-1 here in the bottom of the third. But Tupelo Christian with runners on first and second and 1 out. They're threatening here. Hilliard comes set, kicks and delivers. Foul straight back. The ball's in a strike. Every hitter Hilliard's faced, he's gotten ahead of him with the first pitch strike. Here's the pitch. I guess that hit him in the helmet, I guess. I guess it did. So back-to-back hit by pitches as bases loaded, 1 out. As Dawson Ward comes to the plate. offensive timeout taken by Tupelo Christian.
You good, 11?
Let's see if Hilliard, how he can battle right here. Force at every base right now. Here's the pitch. High inside for ball one. One ball, no strikes. Hilliard in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Outside, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Hilliard comes set. Kicks and delivers. Ground ball to short. Handled by Seago. Steps on the bag. Throws a first. Not in time. So that'll be a fielder's choice that will have a allow a run to score.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Number 28, Logan Umfrey.
So Lions lead 8-2 now as Logan Umfrey comes to the plate, the junior for Tupelo Christian, with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Well, throw a little bit high for Seagull. That's a tailor-made double play right there, though. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. And that ball is out of here. That is going to be a 3-run shot. And that is unsportsmanlike on the hitter. That she could call him out. That could be an out. And that would cause the no runs to score. But, of course, they're not going to say nothing. So it makes it 8-5 Tupelo Christian as he got a hold of every bit of that one. I don't know how you don't see a bat flip when you're the home plate umpire. I mean, come on. My goodness. I know that you don't want to call back stuff down here, but dadgum. Just call it right. Now they're going to come together and talk. It ought to be an out, unfortunately, like that'd be an out. That'd be the end of the inning, and the score will go back to 8-2.
He can throw it 28 feet up in the air.
Can't throw the bat up to the plate. Poor sportsmanship.
So I don't know how you're not watching the game as an umpire. I've never in my life understood. This is ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous. Welcome to Tupelo Christian, folks. Welcome to Belton, Mississippi. Anyway, the score's 8-5. Lions still have a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the third. And number 5, Brooks Brissy comes to the plate, the senior outfielder for the Eagles. Hilliard's going to go back to the windup right here. Here's the pitch. Foul tip. No balls and a strike to Brissy. He was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Easy, 11.
Go, Case. You're good.
Pitch is low for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Clifton gets it. Throws over to first. In time for the out. Great play over there by Jaden Clifton. And good stretch by Braden Hill. So that will end the inning. Tupelo Christian puts 4 across, cut the lead 8-5. So we'll go to the top of the fourth. Biggersville leading 8-5. Thank our sponsor tonight, Lake Hill Motors, for making this game possible. They'll be a sponsor for the entirety of the playoffs, so we'll thank them for that. And y'all go see them for all you four-wheelers, side-by-sides, recreational water sports, all that good stuff. They got it all. They got Yamaha, Honda, and now a Polaris dealer. So go see them and tell them you heard about them right here on Biggersville Baseball Broadcast. Going to the top of the fourth inning, Biggersville leads 8-5. And Jaden Clifton will lead off for the Lions. He had a 3-run home run back in the first. Let's see if he can get a hit right here and get a rally started for the Lions. Get some more runs in. Here's the pitch. Down the middle for strike one. No balls and a strike. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. They give him that outside corner. They won't give us. No balls and 2 strikes.
That's the first time you saw that pitch all night. Why'd you change his zone all of a sudden?
Here's the pitch. Low inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Clifton.
Ridiculous. Let's go, Jake. Let's go 9, drive 1.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. That'll be a strikeout, first out of the inning. Now Braden Hill comes to the plate with 1 out, nobody on.
Let's go, Brayden.
Braden Hill has home run power as well. You got to be careful with him. They're playing deep in the outfield now. Again, that right field line, you can poke it over that first baseman's head, that outside pitch. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for strike 1, no balls and a strike. That looked like a strike to me there. Here's the pitch. Oh, he tried to check, but he went around. No balls, 2 strikes on Hill now. As Womble has picked up a little bit more. A little bit more, a little harder fastball this inning. Here's the pitch. Pitch inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You go, Brayden.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Slow roller to third. Third baseman comes in, throws the first in time for the out. 2 outs, nobody on, and Brady Davis coming to the plate for the Lions. Lions have scored in every inning, but right now the first 2 hitters have gotten out. So 2 outs, nobody on. See if Brady Davis can start a 2-out rally. Here's the pitch. Give an outside pitch for a strike. No balls in the strike. Maybe he'll give Hilliard that pitch next bottom half of this inning. Here's the pitch. Fouled off there at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes now to Davis. Here's the pitch. Davis fouls that and off right field side out of play. Stay alive. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Brady Davis battling at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Got a piece of it to stay alive. What on that bat right now by Brady Davis. Here's the pitch. Inside the corner, they call strike 3. And that will end the top half of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left. After 3.5, Biggersville leads Tupelo Christian 8-5. And Hilliard to go back on the mound for the Lions. Thank our sponsor tonight, Lake Hill Motors, for sponsoring every game here in the playoffs. Y'all go by and see Lake Hill Motors on Highway 72 in Corinth, and thank them for being a sponsor and making all these games possible. Bottom half of the 4th inning, Case Hilliard on the mound for the Lions as Matthew McDaniel, the catcher, the one-hole hit, the leadoff hitter for the Eagles as they're back to the top of the order. See if Hilliard can get it going right here. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Fouled out of play. No balls, 2 strikes now to McDaniel. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So 1 out, nobody on. And Rivers Johnson, the young freshman, comes to the plate for the Eagles. Hilliard up there ready to go. here on this Thursday night, game 1 of round 2 of the state playoffs. Here's the pitch. Pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. First hitter tonight he's thrown a first pitch ball to. No, 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. High for ball 2. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Don't want to give free bases to this team. Especially on the road. You just want to have as clean as any. If you have a couple clean innings, change things. Here's the pitch. Oh, he didn't give him that pitch either. My goodness. Runner on first, 1 out. Number 7, Nate Corneliuson, the junior, comes to the plate.
That was terrible.
Here's the pitch. High inside, ball 1. Here's the pitch.
Strike!
Call that a ball, too, as well. 2 balls, no strikes.
2 strikes you missed, bro.
How much of the plate has he got to miss?
Help him out, Real.
Here's the pitch. Low outside the dirt, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes.
No consistency behind the plate. We can see that already.
3 balls, no strikes. 1 out, runner at first. High, ball 4. So runners at first and second, 1 out. And we're going to have a mound visit for the Lions. See if he stays with Hilliard or he will make a change and see what he does here.
You can't hit that strike zone for nothing.
Coach Whitaker having a conversation with Hilliard, calm him down a little bit, get him back ready to go, and see if we can just find a way to get this train back on the tracks. The tying run will be coming to the plate for the Eagles. That'll be Jack Decker. I believe. Nope. I have the wrong hitter there. Yeah, Jack Decker will be the hitter for the Eagles with runners at first and second and 1 out. See if Hilliard can get things back under control right here. Here's the pitch. Low outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left field. Johnson goes over, makes the catch for the out, and the runners will not tag.
Hey, way to go, Lions! Way to do your job, DJ!
Number 11, Bryce.
So 2 outs, runners at first and second. And number 11, Bryce Godown, comes to the plate. Hilliard get this out and get out of this jam. Here's the pitch. Foul back. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Call that outside for ball one. One ball, one strike, 2 outs, runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball two, 2 balls and a strike. Throw down to third, not in time, they say. He's safe at third. So runners at the corners, 2 outs, 2 balls and a strike. Tying run at the plate for Tupelo Christian. Here's the pitch. Fouled off third base side. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. With 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a fair ball down the left field line. They send the runner. And that'll be a 2 RBI double for go down. Score now 8-7. Lions lead. And Jax Coker coming to the plate.
Number 24, Jack Coker.
He's going to intentionally walk Coker. So runners at first and second, 2 outs, and we're going to have a pitching change. See who they bring in here. They're going to bring in Gage Presley, so hold on while he warms up. And while he's doing that, I'd like to thank Lake Hill Motors for sponsoring the game today and all the games in the playoffs for the Lions. So go by there and see them for all your outdoor recreational needs that are now our Polaris dealers, so go see them for everything you need. Dawson Ward comes to the plate with runners on first and second and 2 outs. Gage Presley now on the mound for the Lions. Young 8th grader. See what he can do right here. Get a big out. Lions lead 8-7. Pitches in the dirt. There's a throw down to third. Oh, and it gets through. It'll be an error. Looks like probably on Clifton. And that'll be a tie ball game now. So we're tied at 8 apiece with the runner at third and 2 outs and 1 ball, no strikes to Ward. It's just outside corner for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It ain't over till it's over, baby. Come on.
Pitch is low in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Pitch outside. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So runners at the corners, 2 outs.
Number 28, Logan Umphreys.
As Umphreys comes to the plate, and he's already had a 3-run homer tonight. Presley could do with him right here. Here's the pitch. Inside for strike 1. No balls and a strike. High for ball 1, excuse me. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now runners at second and third. Go ahead run at third right now for Tupelo Christian. The only private school here in the North playoffs. And they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk him to load him up for, see what's his number? Brooks Brissy. See if Gage can get this out and let the Lions bats come up in the 5th. Try to keep this a tie ball game. High plate umpire has not helped the calls at all for the Lions. Pitch is low outside for ball 1. No place to put him. You got to throw it over the plate here. Here's the pitch. Inside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fouled out of play. Presley a strike away from getting out of this jam and keeping it a tie ball game going into the 5th inning. See if we can make a good pitch right here on Brissy. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to keep with the bases loaded. So we'll go to after 4 complete, we're tied at 8 apiece. And we'd like to thank our sponsor, Lake Hill Motors, for making it possible for us to have these games tonight as a sponsor for the entirety of these playoffs. We thank them for all they do. Also like to let you know to go up there and get get a four-wheeler side by side. You like to go to the lake? They got what you need to have a good time on the lake. So go see them for all your needs. And they're also a Polaris dealer now. So Honda, Yamaha, and Polaris. Go see them for all your needs out there on Highway 72 in Corinth. Logan Davis is going to lead off for Biggersville here in the top of the 5th inning as 8, 9, and 1-hole hitters are coming to the plate. Strike zone got a little bit kind of back to normal. That last hitter right there for Presley, so he was able to make some good pitches. But it never fails. You come over here, your strike zone changes on you when you get a big lead. Womble is still on the mound. He's going to be in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Logan fouls that out of play. The ball's in a strike on him. Here's the pitch. Low for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, this strike zone tonight is infuriating. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second by Davis. Handled by the second baseman. Throws the first in time for the out. 1 out, nobody on. Now Gage Presley will pinch hit for Brady Baisden.
Now batting number 17, Gage Presley.
Here's the pitch. Low outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. See if we can get a base runner on for the top of the order coming back, get a rally, get some runs across. Game's not over. We've still got a lot of baseball left to be played. Here's the pitch. High for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Ain't over till it's over, folks. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike now on Presley. Pitch count for Womble getting up a little bit, I imagine. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. So a runner at first and 1 out, and Brooks Seago coming to the plate. Back to the top of the order for the Lions.
Now batting number 5, Brooks Seago.
Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Seago. One ball, no strikes. Runner at first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Seago will just missed that one. If he got hold of that one, that would have went a long way. Throw over to first, not in time. Good job by the first baseman to make the catch. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Low outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That strike zone's not consistent, I tell you. We'll take that ball, though. We need it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first. Tie ball game. Here's the pitch. Seago hits that one to left field. Left fielder goes back, makes the catch for the out. So 2 outs, runner at first, and Case Hilliard now coming to the plate.
Now batting number 11, Case Hilliard.
Here's the pitch. Wild pitch, and that's going to allow Presley to get down to second. So runner at second, 2 outs, so RB opportunity right here, and Kobe Hill comes into a pinch run for Presley, or courtesy run. He had a double tonight. See if he can get another one over the head of that first baseman and bring in another run. Here's the pitch. Give outside corner for strike 1. Strike zone changing again.
I hope you watch this game later. No, because you definitely ain't watching this one.
Here's the pitch. High ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Not holding Hill on at all. He can get as big of a lead as he wants over there at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
That's on you, Blue. Okay. I know. Go, 11. Check that plate, 11. Got it right here, buddy. Hard and level somewhere.
Here's the pitch. He pokes that one as a little soft pop out to second, and that will end the inning. Lions get a runner on, not able to get him home. So after 4.5, we're still tied at 8. I'd like to thank Lake Hill Motors for making the game possible tonight, sponsoring this broadcast, sponsoring every game for the playoffs this season for your Biggersville Lions. So go down there and see them on Highway 72 in Corinth. For all your outdoor recreational needs, they have everything you need out there. And they have just now started selling Polaris, so go see them for all your needs. Tell them you heard about them right here on the Biggersville Baseball broadcast. Matthew McDaniel will lead off for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th inning as Gage Presley remains on the mound for the Lions. Presley kicks and delivers. It's a pop-up bunt. Throw to first, not in time, as an infield single for McDaniel. So now you got runner at first, nobody out. And Rivers Johnson coming to the plate for the Eagles. So the go-ahead run is on first for Tupelo Christian. Runner takes off. Here's a throw down to second. Not in time. No balls and a strike now on Johnson with the runner, the go-ahead run at second. Nobody out. So bunt again. It's going to roll foul. No balls, 2 strikes now on Johnson. They're just trying to bump the ball right now and force Presley to field his position. Trying to bunt runners all over the place. One good strike right here would go a long way. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, nobody out. The throw over to second. Steps off again, looks runner back. It's a long game tonight. We're just in the bottom of the field. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So 1 out runner at second. And Nate Cornelius, and the third baseman, comes to the plate for the Eagles. Presley in the stretch. Kicks and delivers high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's a pitch. Popped him up. Right field side. And Basin not able to make the play. Or excuse me, Logan Davis. Is that Logan Davis? Can't tell. That's Case Hilliard. That's Logan Davis. Logan Davis. I can't see who they are out here. So Logan Davis not able to make the catch out there. It's a long strike. Good effort, though, by the young man, young freshman. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Popped him up again, right field side. Hill goes over, but it's going to get out of play. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner at second. So Hilliard went to second base. We'll go around the horn in a little bit. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, full count now. Here's the pitch. Popped him up on the infield. That ball's playable. And Price got caught off, he thought, I guess. It's going to fall foul. So if count remains full with one out and runner at second. Foul that one off left field side out of play. Here's the pitch. Shallow fly ball left field. Johnson comes over, gets under it, makes the catch for the out. Runner does not tag.
Number 21, Jack Decker.
So 2 outs, runner at second. And Jack Decker comes to the plate as number 26. Weston Woods, the sophomore, will courtesy run for McDaniel, who is the catcher, going to go up with 2 outs. We'll go put his gear on. Presley in the stretch, kicks and delivers. Inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
What do you say, 1-7?
Here's the pitch. Higher inside or something. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Pitch hits the inside corner for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So now runners at first and second and 2 outs as Bryce Godown comes to the plate.
Number 11, Bryce Godown.
Got him, 1-7.
Price is going to go out and have a conversation with Presley. Presley pitched pretty well since coming in the ball game. Hasn't given up a run. But the go-ahead run at second here in the bottom of the 5th inning with the tie ball game. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes now to go down. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to go down.
We got 11 in a jam. We can't call it.
Here's the pitch. Says outside as well. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Man, you ain't got to make it so obvious, Blue.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left field. This could be trouble. Johnson makes the catch for the out. So after 5 complete, we're still tied. We'd like to thank our sponsors. We're tied at 8 here, and we'd like to thank our sponsor, Lake Hill Motors, for making this game possible with their sponsorship throughout the entirety of the Biggersville baseball playoffs. Thank them for all they do, and go down there and see them on Highway 72 in Corinth, and tell them you want to support them because they support your Biggersville Lions. Womble back on the mound for the Eagles as Carson Price will lead off here, top of the 6th inning. Tie ball game, 8 apiece. Game 1 of the second round of the playoffs. High inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Price. See if he can barrel one up right here. He's been seeing the ball very well here as of late. Really all year. Foul that one backing out of play. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike to Price. The heart of the lineup coming up now for the Lions. Now's the time to make some noise. Here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike on Price. Three balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Gave him a strike there outside corner. You got to be kidding me right now. It's comical and infuriating at the same time. Full count. Price. Here's the pitch. Low. Ball 4. Price draws the walk. So runner at first, nobody out. Dylan Johnson coming to the plate.
Now batting number 33, Dylan Johnson.
Go, DJ.
Mumble in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. High inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first, nobody out. Johnson with a base hit to left field. Price is going to try to go first to third. Here's the relay. He's out. He got under the throw. It should be safe, but they're going to call him out. Time called out here for some reason. But Johnson will end up at second. So one out, runner at second. Jaden Clifton coming to the plate. Clifton with a 3-run homer earlier. He's need a base hit right here to give the Lions the lead here in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Fouled at and off third base side.
Let's go, 9. I see one right here. Come on, Jaden, drive him in.
Here's the pitch. That's going to be a foul ball. So they call that foul. Inside the line. Hit the line. Many people telling me he hit the line, but they're going to call it foul. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at second. Womble in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Foul back out of play. Stay alive right there. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. Tie ball game. Womble will step off and run Johnson back. With Johnson's speed, you put that ball, you get it out, you get it in the outfield, you get a base hit. Lions will have a lead. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a ground ball to short. Shortstop will throw foot to first in time for the out. So runner at third, 2 outs. And Braden Hill coming to the plate.
Batting number 26, Braden Hill.
Let's go, Braden.
Here's the pitch. It's off the glove of the third baseman. They're going to try to throw out Hill. They cannot. He's safe. Infield single, and the Lions take a 1-run lead.
Get back to the dugout.
The Lions now lead 9-8. And Braden Hill somehow got down to first. Coach is arguing it. Don't matter. He's safe at first. Infield single. Lions lead 9-8. Runner at first, 2 outs. Brady Davis coming to the plate. We're going to have a courtesy runner. Or are we going to have a courtesy runner come in? Nope. We're going to leave Hill at first, looks like. See if Davis can get a hit right here. That was just a good hard hit to third by Hill, who just made good contact. That's what you got to do. Put the ball in play. That's an error. I'm going to give him a single, but it should have been an error on the third baseman. He should have caught that ball. Lions lead 9-8 now. Top of the sixth inning, game one, round two, the 1A state playoffs. Bunts that one foul. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Low, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hill with like a 2-step lead at first. Here's the pitch. Davis fouls out and out of play. Count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 outs. Biggerville's already put a run across this inning. Lead 9-8. Womble comes set, kicks and delivers. Oh, and they say he went around. That's strike 3, and that will end the inning. But the Lions get one across to take the lead as they now lead 9-8 going to the bottom of the 6th inning. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Lake Hill Motors, for making it possible, being our sponsor tonight, making it where we can have live baseball here in the playoffs. Every game in the playoffs, the Biggerville Lions will be live because of Lake Hill Motors. So we thank them for that. And also go down to Highway 72 in Corinth and visit Lake Hill Motors. Get you a new four-wheeler, new side-by-side. Anything you want that for outdoor use, they have. If you for recreational use, they have it for you. Go out there, see them. They also, if you say, well, I have equipment, but it's tore up and I don't know what, I'm not going to be able to get out there. I don't want to buy anything new. That's fine. They got a service department. Go out there and let them service it for you and fix what you need. Or if you just want to fix it yourself, they have parts. And they also are a Polaris dealer, so they have you stocked full of that as well. So they have Yamaha, Honda, and Polaris. So go out there and see Lake Hill Motors for all of your outdoor recreational needs. Presley is going to be back out on the mound for the Lions here in the bottom 6 as Jax Coker is coming to the plate for the Eagles. Lions lead 9-8 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Presley kicks and delivers. High for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Low ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So Lions lead 9-8. So the strike zone has changed. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a fair ball down the left field line. At least a double looks like. So a leadoff double for Coker. So runner at second, nobody out. And now number 2, Dawson Ward coming to the plate.
Number 2, Dawson Ward.
see what his Lions. Well, they've had runners on second, nobody out earlier in the game. Last inning on Presley, and Presley was able to pitch around it. See if he can pitch around it now. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike one. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. So that was outside for ball one. Looked like the same pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ward. Pitch is in the dirt, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 4. So now runners at first and second, nobody out. Number 28, Logan Umphris comes to the plate. He's already homered once tonight. So, see what Presley can do with him. So they're going to walk him or they're going to go ahead and pitch to him. And I think we're going to have a pitching change. He's going to make a pitching change as Carson Price will come into the game to be your pitcher. So, thank Lake Hill Motors for sponsoring the game. Y'all go down there on Highway 72 in Corinth and see them, and thank them for being the sponsor and making these games live for you to see all throughout the playoffs for the Lions. As long as the Lions go in the playoffs, the games will be live because of Lake Hill Motors. As they make the change, we'll take a short break. Carson Price comes into the ball game and starting pitcher for the Biggersville Lions. And you'll have, so let's go around the horn. Price on the mound. Case Hilliard behind the plate. At third is Jaden Clifton. Short, Brooks Seago. At second is Logan Davis. At first is Braden Hill. In the outfield, Dylan Johnson in left, Demery Gunn in center, and Brady Baisden back out in right. Umphris is coming to the plate. He's already homered once tonight, so you got to be careful with him.
Number 28, Logan Umphris.
So runners on first and second, nobody out. Bringing in Price to try to calm this down and hopefully pitch out of this and keep the Eagles at bay. Let's see if he can do it. Umphris has already shown he's got home run power tonight. Price in the stretch. He'll kick and deliver. Swing and a miss for strike one. No balls and a strike. It's Biggersville leads 9-8 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Lions had an 8-1 lead, and things kind of got off the rails there for a little while. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. All speed pitches got him out in front. Bet a high fastball will be good right here. See, make him swing at it. See what Price throws him right here. Here's the pitch. Fouled off first base side.
Where's he going to go?
So no balls, two strikes. Runners at first and second. That was just a foul ball. Obvious foul ball. As the high plate umpire sitting over here by the press box in one of the paid seats is not happy with that being a foul ball. I don't understand how it could not be a foul ball. It would be anything other than a foul ball. Anyway, no balls, two strikes to Umphris. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Price in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So one out, runners at first and second. And Brooks Brissy comes to the plate. Let's see if Price handles him. Price comes set. Kicks and delivers. Calls that a ball. What in the world you got to do to get a strike out of this? About to lose it up here. Here's the pitch. That's called a strike outside corner. That pitch didn't look as good as the first one. One ball, one strike, one out. Runners at first and second. Bottom of the sixth inning. Biggersville leading 9-8. Here's the pitch. Strike two call. One ball, two strikes now to Brissy. Price checks the runner. He'll kick and deliver. Popped him up. Shallow right field. Baisden comes in, gets under it, makes the catch for the out. And the runners do not advance. So two outs, runners at first and second. And Matthew McDaniel, the catcher, comes to the plate for the Eagles. Price will stay in the stretch. Ground ball to short. Handled by Seago. He'll throw to first. In time for the out! And that will end the inning. Great stretch. Great play all around there by the Lions. So after 6 complete, Biggersville leads 9-8. And we'd like to thank our sponsor, Lake Hill Motors, for sponsoring the games all the way throughout the playoffs. So we have live broadcast, live video all the way through North Half, and live audio in Pearl if we get there. So thank Lake Hill Motors for that. Go by and see them for all your outdoor recreational needs. And they'll take care of you there on Highway 72 in Corinth. They have financing available, so go see them as graduations go right around the corner. So you might want to get that kid a brand new side-by-side. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Eagles, and that's going to be Reeves Kinney, the sophomore. It's the third lowest ERA on the team. So they're bringing him in to try to limit the damage to give themselves a chance in the bottom half of the 7th inning. As Kenny is on the mound for the Eagles, a left-handed pitcher, Logan Davis will come to the plate. For the Lions here in the top of the 7th inning, Lions with a 1-run lead, chance to win the ball game in the bottom half when they go back on the field. But they're trying to get some insurance runs to help their cause here. They bring Kenny in the limit to try to keep the Lions from getting more. So let's see if Davis can get a rally started right here. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And this young man is a good pitcher. There's no doubt about that. Got good stuff. Here's the pitch. Give him a strike there. Look, same pitch as before. 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Davis. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Logan Davis. Brady Baisden on deck. Then move back to the top of the order. Here's the pitch. High, ball 2. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nice night for baseball down here in Belden, Mississippi. Right now, 71 degrees, wind blowing out to the north at 6 miles an hour. Here's the pitch. Low, but full count now to Logan Davis. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 1 out, nobody on, and Brady Baisden coming to the plate for the Lions as he went back out into the field last half inning.
Now batting number 22, Brady.
See if he'll just be patient here. Maybe see if he can button down that first base line. Left-handed pitcher falling off of the third base side of the mound. Swing and a miss for strike 1. There's apparently a light shining into the parking lot. They got to tell them to turn the lights off. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And he went around for strike 3. So 2 outs, nobody on. And Brooks Seago comes to the plate.
Batting number 5, Brooks Seago.
2 outs, nobody on. Lions lead 9-8, top of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. High inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. We've already been playing nearly right at 3 hours so far. Long ball game. A lot of scoring. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Seago hits that one to center field. Deep fly ball goes back. Center fielder not able to make the catch. He drops the ball. And Seago will be at second on an error by the center fielder. So runner at second, 2 outs, and Case Hilliard come into the plate.
What do you say, Sticks?
Let's go, Lippy!
Go, Case. Ball.
Hey, hard and level. Swing level here. Base hit scores a run.
Let's go, ones. Let's go.
Base hit, base hit.
Let's go, Lippy!
Kenny in the stretch, a left-handed pitcher, sophomore. Runner at second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Hilliard already doubled once tonight. Poked it down that right field line.
Let's go, Lippy!
Here's the pitch. Low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Good eye.
Foul backing out of play. 2 balls and a strike now to Hilliard. Here's the pitch. Base hit to center field. Seago hits third. He comes home. Here's a relay. Not in time. And Hilliard will end up at second on the throw. RBI for Case Hilliard. And Lions now lead 10-8 with Carson Price coming to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at second.
Way to go, Case!
Trade places, buddy.
Kenny in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Here's the pitch. Pokes it to right field. Right fielder comes over, makes the catch for the out. And that will end the inning. Lions get one across, though, increase the lead to 2 runs by a score of 10-8. Lions 3 outs away from taking a 1-0 lead in this series. It looks like Price will go right back on the mound and try to close it out for the Lions. And we'd like to thank Lake Hill Motors for being a sponsor tonight, making this game possible so we can have live video broadcast here during the playoffs. So thank you to Lake Hill Motors. So go out there and see them on Highway 72 in Corinth. They got all kind of toys you can buy. They got Honda, Yamaha, and now they are a Polaris dealer. So go see them and buy yourself something nice to have fun on the weekends. Price comes onto the mound to try to close this out for the Lions here in game one. The Lions lead 10-8. It's number 15 comes to the plate. That's Johnson. That's Rivers Johnson. That pitch in the dirt for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes to Johnson. Price will be in the windup. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left field. Johnson comes over, makes the catch for the out. So 1 out, nobody on. And number 7, Nate Corneliuson, the junior third baseman, comes to the plate for the Eagles.
Way to hit it, baby!
Here's the pitch. Line drive right back up the middle. And Gunn will get it back in. So the tying run now comes to the plate in the form of Jack Decker, tonight's starting pitcher.
Number 21, Jack Decker.
Here we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Biggersville leading 10-8 with 1 out and runner at first. Lions able to add an insurance run there in the top half of this inning. Price comes set. Kicks and delivers. Runner takes off. Here's a throw down. Seago drops the ball, not in time, and he took a shot on the wrist there. I think he's going to be all right. He got up there. He's going to try to walk it off, and Tom's going to go out there and take a look at him. He took a shot on that wrist. He takes his time to check on Seago out there at short. Good throw down by Hilliard. Looks seem like Seago gonna continue to play, tough it out. Good job there. So I can't remember if he called it a ball or a strike. Called it a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. Price in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Found it backing out of play. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike now to Decker. Price comes set. Checks the runner. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Decker. Pitch is high for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Inside corner. Call strike 3. So 2 outs, runner at second. And number 11, Bryce Godown, comes to the plate. A junior heavy team for junior, sophomore and junior heavy team here at Tupelo Christian. And that's a junior coming to the plate. 2 outs, runner at second. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 1, and the runner nearly got in no man's land there. This Hilliard's got a good arm. Last chance here for the last hope right now for the Eagles in this half of the inning. Price trying to slam the door shut. Here's the pitch. Call that a ball. What was wrong with that one? 2 balls, no strikes. Runner second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. High ball 3, 3 balls, no strikes.
You can call them, Blue. We see them. I know you do. You're right there on top of it.
Price in the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Right down the middle for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike.
That was strike 3. I had to call a strike.
Price checks the runner. Kicks and delivers. Fly ball to center field. Gunn comes over. Makes the catch! And the Lions take a 1-0 lead here in round 2 of the 1A state playoffs. And the Lions, who were told they didn't have a chance to win a game in this series, take a 1-0 lead. And we'll be back in action probably Saturday night at home with all the rain. And that'll be game 2, so we'll just stay tuned in the socials. We'll let you know on Facebook when the game will be. A lot of rain coming in tomorrow. Figure that it will be a Saturday matchup. So, Lions take a 1-0 lead.